Garage. My name is Dr. Christian Ferger. I'm the owner of the Electrodes Garage. I am researching about high-frequency healing devices since 20 years. I'm writing books about them. I repair them, and sometimes I sell them, but not too often. I would like to share some information with you, maybe also answering some frequently asked questions with just the basic information about the high-frequency healing devices, how they are working, what they are, how they look like, and how you heal yourself with it. So a lot of information. Let's go into the presentation. Read the disclaimer carefully before treating yourself with these high-frequency healing devices. Let's go. This was the headline of the lecture I was giving in Schweinfurt at the beginning of this month. It was high-frequency healing devices, a forgotten technology. As it seems, the high-frequency healing technology really disappeared sometimes and never came completely back. It's just a little a little niche of the medicine of today, but it's growing. I'm working together with traditional medicines, with dentists in this case, and they are using high-frequency healing devices, and I will tell you later what they do with this. Okay, let's go. So, the high-frequency healing devices. What is it? What does it look like? We have, if we open the box, the treasure here, it's an old Panzani. We have three different components in this box. The one is the machine. There is a handle, always a handle, and there are electrodes. Electrodes are made of glass, and I will explain them later. So these are the three components we want to find in any of these boxes. What's happening inside and between these components? We have the machine, we have the handle, we have the electrode. The machine is connected with the mains and therefore gets an input here in Germany from 230 volts, and there is a coil in it, and this is driving the 230 volts into 430 volts. Then the stream is chopped by a thing called the Wagnerian hammer. And the Wagnerian hammer cuts the energy into little pieces. And those pieces are stored in a capacitor, which collects a lot of them and then releases them with one single push into the handle. And in the handle there is an incoming 440 volt, and the handle's output is 40,000 volt. And this is the Tesla magic. There is a primary coil, which is loaded with the 400 volt, and the primary coil is wound around the secondary coil. And the secondary coil starts swinging and is producing this incredible number of volts and giving them into the electrode holder. And this electrode holder is connected with the metal piece of these glass parts, which covers and protects the end of the glass. And then the energy is flowing through the electrode holder into this glass, and this glass is filled with a noble gas and therefore lights up in neon or in a bluish violet color, and therefore is the name violet ray because of the noble gas argon, which is, if you put it under high frequency, it lights up violet. So much so far about those, how they do it. So here is something about the fathers, the inventors. One is one of the most famous persons on earth, and we don't need to say anything about Nikola Tesla. He is the inventor of those healing high frequency currents, and he is the father of all of this. There is another well-known guy here in Germany. He invented the gas-filled tubes, and that they light and that they also take the sharpness of the high frequency power. If you connect this high frequency power, if you want to connect this to the body, it is good to have these gas-filled tubes between the energy production and your skin. And later we will say some more words to this. And good. So why are we wondering about the devices that have been disappearing? Because they have been working very, very good. If you read the old books, nearly every household had a high frequency healing devices, because it is said, or it is told, that it would help against the really, really bad things that nearly everybody has. It's back pain, it's having a cold, viral diseases, viral infections. You have things on your skin, bacteria working on your skin. You have deep cuts, and also there is shot wounds that a lot of people had at this time. You have the inflammations of anything in your face and in your nose and in your sinus, and you have knee pain. So things that everybody has. Why did they disappear? This is one of the big questions, because they really disappear. You could not find them for a long time, and also you don't find, or it's not so easy to find studies about the high frequency healing possibilities. They just disappeared and they're recovering. But if you see the example of Russia, where all these things didn't happen, Russia is much more developed if it's about high frequency healing devices, Lakovsky technologies and such stuff. We had a block here in Germany. There are, in my point of view, there are three main reasons. The first main reason is the fathers of the high frequency healing devices had problems with the broadcasting of radios, because the high frequency disturbs the broadcasting or the receiving of the broadcast. And therefore this was one reason why they had problems, but it's not the reason why they completely disappeared. The next problem that was upcoming was in 1928 starting. The traditional medicine started to understand that violet ray healing really will cost them a lot of money, and therefore they started to fight against this high frequency healing. And they influenced also the laws. For example, the Venereal Diseases Act in 1928. Everybody had to go to jail who informed anybody else about how to heal venereal diseases. And it's not the venereal diseases just, it's talking about everybody, everything that is happening under your belly. Everything that was happening under your belly was called venereal diseases, and there was heart. You have to pay a lot of money. You have to go to the court, and a lot of people have been sent to prison because of this. And then the National Socialists came, and their idea was to have control also about the medical system. And this means the only way to treat somebody was done by allowed medicine people of the National Socialist Party. And everybody else had a lot of problems. And therefore it was just logic that they have been fighting against the high frequency healing, because this could be done by everybody. You need no qualification or a medical doctor title or something to help yourself with this high frequency healing. So it was a big problem for the Nazis, and then they put all the information on the blacklist, and they also allowed or stopped the distribution of these devices here in Germany. And you see here Ewald Paul on the blacklist of the National Socialist Party. The National Socialist Party also did something to our culture, what is, you just don't find the right words, the burning of the books, the burning of knowledge, the burning of pictures, and really doing a lot of damage to our history, to our people. And they burned the books about high frequency healing and a lot of other books too, because of being not German and don't know what shit really seemed to be the reason for this burning, but the books were burned. So each book of Ewald Paul you get in your hands is a treasure because it survived those processes. So if you find one, try to get it. They are a part of our history. What happened? So the Nazis just destroyed everything of this. Productions have been stopped. Knowledge has been erased. And you know, the same medicines, then the same medical doctors that had been working in the National Socialist time up to 1945, they started doing their stuff after 45 too, which was important because Germany needed his medical doctors. And so maybe it was in their brains that high frequency healing is bad. And this also could be the reason for a very late start in 1953, when Tefra brought up his world famous and most beloved from my side Tefra in 53, which is just an incredible device. So you see, I'm a little bit fanatic about the Tefra factory. Okay, let's go one step further. One of the most asked questions to me is, how does high frequency healing device really work? I think after reading a lot of books and handbooks and talking to medical people, there are three main effects: electromassage, the effect of the warmth, and the ozonization. The electromassage, if you see an oscilloscope, there is a frequency that is going like a massage through your body, massaging the cells. Cells are loaded with energy, and cells are producing waste and toxins and garbage, and they need to get rid of this garbage until because if not, they cannot produce any more power and also not produce their function and not reproduce and not regenerate. And this is a very important effect. Just to make a picture, the massage helps the cells to get out that stuff, the toxins and this stuff, pushing it out, and then heal again and get rejuvenated and be young again. And this is one of the immense healing powers that high frequency healing devices are offering to your body. The next thing is warmth. If you are putting this glass electrode on your skin, you will feel the skin is getting warmer. And this warmth, this helps your veins and arteries to open, and also the lymphatic flows, so that a lot of body immune answer can get to any inflammations or things like that, so the blood circulation is improved. You also can use this to how is it called, the sugar, the diabetic feet. Everything that helps the body to make work easier is there's a lot of this stuff done by warmth. So if you treat, for example, the soles of your feet, the system there is opening, and this reduces the work that the heart has to do to push the blood downwards and to push it up again. If the channels are open, it's much easier to get much more throughput And this is one absolutely important effect of the worms, to open the system for transportation of blood and lymph and immune answer on any viruses and bacteria in your body. The third mechanism is the ozonization. High frequency, and you will smell it if you are using these devices, produce ozone. Ozone is O3. Normal air is O2. And the O2 is divided. The two molecules are divided by high frequency into one time O. And they are getting together to make a O3, which is ozone. And this ozone is getting between the glass electrode and your skin, and therefore it also is going into your body. This ozone enriches the air in your blood, and this is one important effect. But I think the most important effect is that the ozone is killing the surface of viruses and bacteria which are living on your skin or try to get in, and ozone is extremely powerful for disinfection if inflammation is there. And the dentists that I am working with, they are using the high frequency for the main effect of the ozonization. They say it's an absolutely clear and helpful disinfection of wounds. Wounds are healing much faster and much cleaner with ozone treatment. And therefore, they offer it as an additional treatment and not as a basic treatment. And this is also interesting. So here are the main three effects, how this healing is working. Now let's talk a little bit about the electrodes. There are a lot of them, and it's cool to collect them because they are looking so strange. And I want to talk to you about the main electrodes that we are having and seeing a lot of times. The mushroom electrode is the absolute all-rounder. Every time if there is a pain or if something is not working in your body, take a mushroom electrode and press it on this place and leave it there for 5 minutes. In the worst case, nothing will happen. In the best case, you will heal yourself. And this is the most important thing about the healing with these electrodes. There are no side effects. You cannot do any mistake. You push it on your skin, you let the energy flow, and you will see what happens. So there is no healing promise. Sometimes a lot of time it's helping, and if it's not helping, there are no side effects. So it's a good chance that you should try. Mushroom electrode against nearly everything. The depth electrode, as you see here, or called the condenser electrode in English, it condenses the energy at this metal part inside. So the argon is shimmering and the energy is flowing through this metal part, and then there is a distance to your skin, and then the energy is flowing into your skin and getting very deep in your body. This is the effect of this condensation of the energy. The fulgurator is made to destroy cells that you don't want. It's tissue that you don't want, it's warts that you don't want, it could be scar material, and it's also very helpful if you use it to remove tattoos. It's absolutely possible. The fulgurator destroys the cell and the body is producing a new cell, a really fresh tissue, and it's a good way to get rid of cell material that you don't want on your skin anymore. So here is one of my favorite, the neck electrode or throat electrode. You take it and push it against your throat, and then the energy is flowing into your throat, and it kills viruses and bacteria there. And there is also this ozone production that is done, ozone that you are inhaling during the treatment. So there is a lot of power against any kind of viral infections or things like this. The tongue electrode, you stick your tongue out, you place the tongue electrode on it and you fire, and then the ozone and also the high frequency and all this stuff is killing viruses and bacteria on your tongue. Very, very helpful. These different electrodes here are saturation electrodes. They are made for loading your body with the high frequency devices, not punctual, but you place it in your hand, and from your hand the energy is flowing through your whole body. You can check this with a very small neon electrode, and with this you can see that the high frequency is really flowing to every point, to every single point of your body. It's just flooding through you, and there is no contraction of any muscle or something like this. It's just flowing and flowing. And this saturation helps you a lot because it's doing the warmth, it's doing the ozonization, and it's also the messaging each cell of your body. Good. Let's go to the next one. Yeah, the colors. There are a lot of different colors in our electrodes. And from the main point of view, there are two different gases. One is more violet and the other is more orange. And the reason is that there are different noble gases filled in your electrodes. One noble gas is the argon, and this is more common than the neon noble gas. The argon is working strong against bacteria, and argon is cooling down the system. So, for example, if you have a fever, or if you have a blood pressure topic or something like this, or if you can't sleep, it's also working good against pain. You would use the violet electrode. And the other, red, is powerful. It increases everything. It is a strong power that is making the body and the cell agile. So these are the main difference. But you know, if I would have pain and I don't have an argon electrode, for example, I would use a neon electrode, and vice versa. So I'm not sure if this really is the biggest thing to differentiate them. Lutz Neumann in Kursdorf, one of the last scientific glassblowers that we have in Europe, maybe in the world, he's also trying with other gases and in the electrodes. But I don't want to get deeper into this topic because it's the main information that I want to give you. There are two gases, argon and neon, and they are told to be different from their impact, and I just want to know you about these noble gases. So, some words about the treatments. The treatment is not made for people who have a pacemaker or insulin pump. Don't do this if people that have those electronic devices in their body. Don't do it if they are close to you or if they are in the same room. If you want to have an impact, a soft impact at the beginning, you try to place the electrode directly on the skin. Not pushing too hard, but laying it on the skin. And where the pain is, or where you want to work, there you place the electrode. And here, less is more. The current strength is not important, so you start with very, very low strength. You just want the electricity, the current to flow smoothly into your body. We don't need any pain or something like this. Just use low intensity in the beginning, just if you know what you can take and if you know that it does not hurt, and therefore start very, very slowly. I think 5 minutes at the beginning is absolutely enough. Be careful with your old devices. They tend to get very hot during the treatments. So after 5 to 8 minutes, give them half an hour to get cool again, to cool down. And Yes, with the fulgurator, not longer than 1 minute on the same place, because it hurts a little bit. And you see, when you are ready, if the skin turns white, this means the cell is dead. And remember, every of these processes needs time. You normally don't expect a miracle when using this, but you will see that there is an impact coming, a good one. In good, at the time we have two different technologies for these violet ray healing devices. We have the mechanical / old devices, which are very big, very loud, and very exciting. Or we have the solid state devices. They are small, they are quiet, and they are full of modern electronic components. In the mechanical devices, here that frequency, that impact, that heartbeat of the device is made by a confrontation of metal parts, and here it's just electrical components. Also the handles are here black, and you see also the wire, all that wire wound inside. I think there's 500-600 meters wire. Here the same, but it's all made in China and done very, very small. So here are the basic two technologies, mechanical and solid state. Fully electronic and completely mechanical. And good. Where do you get those lovely pieces? It's difficult to get the old ones, and there is also always a risk connected to purchasing these old devices. There are things that can be damaged, there are things that just can be old, the cable may be defect. You need to know something if you buy such an old device, and this is the reason why I wrote my repair handbook. So I want to make everybody able to renovate such an old device and make it sure again. So you have to understand that they are beautiful and they are highly collectible, but there is a risk that you buy. In Germany, we say you buy the cat in the box, you don't know what cat is jumping out, and that's the same here. So you have to decide if you buy the older ones or if you buy the modern ones. There are some often from China on different quality levels. There are some from the Ukraine, or there are also some European devices. This is the most modern Tefra that you have at the moment, and this is a hollow electron. But I think you should be fast when buying those European devices, because I think the European community is trying to erase this technology. Therefore, just strike. Good. And in this presentation that I had, there is a new hope coming up. It's Wagner's hammer. It is a device developed by Frank Wagner in Leipzig, made with the old philosophy. Everything inside is old, but there is modern technology used to print the parts and to make a beautiful device, and there will much more video information come from my side. So this was it so far. Thank you very much for your attention, and if there are questions or anything, please use the comment function below. I'm very excited to hear your feedback on my lecture here. Have a nice evening and goodbye.